Let's talk about protecting your joints. Let's talk about getting faster by using Run Form. Hi everyone, Steve Gonza, physical therapist here with my main man, Winnie Poo Poo. Hi Winston. And I want to show you guys some stuff on the board. I actually have a side-by-side of run analysis I'm going to show you in this video as well. So take a look at this whole video because there's going to be a lot of good stuff in here. I'm going to jump over though. Let's look at the whiteboard quick. Let's just talk about real quick about Run Form, because the big thing that you need to know is that when your foot hits the ground, like there's things you can do to protect yourself. If you are worried about your joints in the long term, like most runners are worried about, like, are my knees going to be okay? Are my ankles, my hips going to be okay? And that's usually where we see failure, particularly in that knee. So if we want to protect these joints over the long term, this is what you need to know. Real quick, there is a link in this post to the Midfoot Project. This is a 5-week boot camp on Run Form that we're holding in April. So make sure you check it out, because whether you're watching this, depending on when you watch this, either the price is going up or the program's closing. We only run it once a year. So midfootproject.com if you want to check that out, or the link in this post. Okay, so I talked about this a little bit in a previous video, but when your foot hits the ground, you're going to have an increase in force that's coming up into your body. So when you're a heel striker and your knee is perfectly straight, so there's the leg, let's say this is the pelvis, when that foot hits the ground's going to come up and it's going to push back into the body. Let's make sure I'm onto the screen here. So this is you running down the road, looking solid, looking good. So when that force comes up in, it's going to rise up. Now, typically when people land with this straight knee, the toes pulled up, that creates a lot of impact force that you can actually affect quite a bit of. But it's more than just impact and saving your joints. If you look at the ground reaction force, or the way that the ground pushes against the body, you can see that this is a push backwards. So this whole force of the ground is trying to drive this runner backwards, and it's really like what we call a start and stop motion. From a performance standpoint, from a speed standpoint, a huge issue with trying to run faster when you run this way. So what we like to do, and I'm going to show you two runners here in a second. We're going to go and do like a little bit of a live analysis on them. What we want to do is we want to take this force that's coming into the body, and ideally what we'd like to do is spread it out and come back down so that we have more time to absorb it. And we do that by landing on a midfoot, or with what we like to call as a bent knee. So let's talk about that. And then I really encourage you guys, if you have concerns about your Run Form, or you feel like, hey, my Run Form could use some work, check out the link in this post. Midfoot Project starts in April. Let's go over to the computer and talk about this a bit. Look at that blue sky today. That's unheard of in Buffalo, right, Win? That's right, Win. All right, so back to the computer. So I'm going to show you this runner, and then I'm going to show you this runner on my computer, and let's watch this guy come through. I'm probably going to butcher this, but as this leg comes through, this is what most people do, is they get that knee out to the front, they straighten the knee, they hit the heel first. And I'm not really even concerned a lot about this heel strike as much as the straight knee. That's what I just talked about, because what's going to happen here is the ground's going to come up and it's going to push backwards into this runner. So all the push-off force from this back leg gets stopped, but also you lose all shock absorption when this knee goes straight. From an injury standpoint, increased forces going through the body. From a speed standpoint, completely slowing you down. Very difficult to progress down the road when you have that big paw out there reaching for ground. It's not like you might have learned in the past, like you want these really long strides and grab as much ground at every step. That is not what you're looking for. What you're looking for is something like this gentleman here. And what you're going to notice is as he comes through, we'll just take a couple slides here. Let's watch this leg come through. You're going to see that, okay, his heel might be hitting first, but you notice how he never got that fully straight knee that we're seeing over here. His leg stops, and he's actually going to put this foot to the ground and hit here. Now look at how bent this knee is. It's a little bit more underneath the center of mass. It's never going to be perfectly under the center, but this straight shin is the sweet spot. Because what's going to happen is we're not going to get this big driving force backwards. Instead, what you're going to get is you're going to get the ground pushing up. So not only is it easier for this back leg to catapult you over, but when the ground pushes up, all you're doing at this point is you're just hinging the body. And when you land on that bent knee, it gives you the shock absorption you need in your running, and completely, it really does, and it's been shown in the research, it protects your knee quite a bit. So we really encourage you guys to learn how to transition to this type of run form. There's a lot of things you can do. You can work on midfoot strike, you can work on lean arm position, you're opening your stride. this is always the place we start. And this is why we run Midfoot Project early in the year, because fixing these issues make a huge difference. And in fact, they cure a lot of other issues like cadence issues, stride issues, how you carry yourself. So always start here. It gives you injury resistance. It gives you a speed boost, and you can learn it while you run. It's not like you have to add a bunch extra. And that's what we teach in the Midfoot Project. Take a link in this post. Take a look at the link in this post, or go to midfootproject.com and you can join us in April. And Winston's not in the program, but we're gonna invite him maybe this year. We'll see what happens. All right, everyone. I'll talk to you soon. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. I see there's some coming through, so I'll look at that and answer those now. All right, everyone. Have a great day. Bye.